Hey everyone, welcome to the show, episode 45, Melbourne Draft Chats. We're going to talk about the Melbourne Football Club today, the Melbourne Demons. So let's get into it. Xavier Taylor at pick 11. It's the first player they got. Pick 12, Latrell Picket. Pick 30, Thomas Matthews. Moving into the rookie draft, Riley Onley at pick 3, and also Clania White at category A, father-son pick. So let's talk about the first player they got, Xavier Taylor. He's a tall defender. Standing at 191 centimetres, he's a good size to be a centre-half back or third tall defender. Guy that's going to replace Judd McVie, so they've gone and elected to go with him. A player that they needed to replace. He is a relentless, determined defender. He has good athleticism and aerial abilities. Also, the ability to lock down the small forwards so he can blend and play two different types, roles, and lock down the small forwards, which is a good ability to have. He's made an impressive rise up the draft boards. Very solid and reliable player. He's a lockdown type. And in his bottom age season at the Eastern Rangers, he ended up in his top age campaign as a top 10 talent. So he sort of rose up as he's come along. And the 18-year-old made 31 appearances across 2 consistent years at the Rangers, while also moving up to represent Vic Metro at the under-16s and under-17s and under-18s level. Taylor hardly missed a beat in 2025. He was central to the Eastern Coast Talent League Premiership success, helping to be the backbone of the side, which boasts 5 likely first-round draft picks. This was, as the draft went on, this was written, so they say defence wins premierships. Well, Taylor has given that example after taking out the best on ground honours in a successful grand final to cap off a stellar season. He couldn't repeat that feat with Vic Metro. Obviously, Vic Metro was not as talented as the other states like Vic Country and South Australia's side, but was his side's best and most reliable backman. Somehow missing all Australian selection in the draft crop, which is not particularly blessed with tall defensive talent. So yeah, I guess that's a bit of a knock on the selectors. Like how did some players not get put in? We'll talk about some that are coming up. There's also another tall defender in the South Australian lineup that didn't get any recognition or didn't even get drafted. So yeah, it's a bit of a knock on the selectors. And this guy should have been probably in the best. He's probably that one of the best third tall defenders as well. So he ranks among the top 5 of overall defenders. So that covers him quite well. We'll talk about his strengths and his improvements that he needs to do in his game. So we'll start with strengths. He's got great aerial ability. He's competitive. He has defensive mindset. He's versatile. Can play on the smalls. He's an intercepting defender and also has quite good athleticism. Decision making needs to be improved along with his kicking. So those 2 things that, you can work on that maybe. I guess his decision making in his kicking wouldn't be his decision making in taking a mark. So you can probably work on that. He's a very well-rounded defender, a hallmark of his game. He sets himself apart in a lot of ways, primarily as a defensive attitude and ability to nullify most of the opponents, whether small or tall. His strengths is reading the play and also has the aerial competitive nature, playing against the tools. So while he has speed and mobility to move around the ground. He holds up his end against either tall or smaller opponents. But he's also a lockdown defender, which is a genuine weapon of his game. As the season went on, he became a great intercepting player, or used to roam as a rebounding dangerous defender. He used to get the ball and move across the ground quite well. And yeah, essentially playing the high line and the half-back role, getting into position to cut the ball off also. With a 20-metre sprint time under 3 seconds, it's also a key part for his ability to beat the forward line players in the air, for him to get across and cut off the ball. He's often seen carving his way through the forward on a counter-attack, and is really agile. His agility is actually a great set of him, and also utilising his defensive skills to facilitate his attacking traits. So yeah, one thing they don't really tell you about the combine draft stuff is like if his agility is quite good for like a 190 centimeter player. Like yeah, okay, you're gonna have your agility tests are gonna be beaten by a smaller player. That's obvious. That's you know, like sometimes I feel like they don't give enough stats out for the bigger players. So like, you know, I'm over 190 centimeters personally. And you're like, it'd really be good if you had tall stats, you know, players over those heights. You know, they don't, it's so, like we focus so much on the best speed in the agility. I'm just using the agility, for example, because it's a really good one to go by, or running times or whatever it is. You know, where's the stats for the 190 centimeter players? Like, that's just as important. Height and speed and quickness, you know. Obviously, the small guy is going to be more agile. We need some stats for the big guys. So shout out for that one. That's one I wanted to really just talk about. And this guy obviously would rate quite highly on that skill. His decision making and composure is just sometimes a bit of an issue. He has a rush of blood with the ball, so he may run himself into trouble. But yeah, on the flip side, most of his effort and can't be questioned. His determination on the ball and the ability to hit the contest is why he's a good player. So yeah, even at a thumping at the hands of the South Australian undefeated side, while playing for Vic Metro, he fought hard at his end, despite the one-sided scoreboard. So yeah, he tried his heart out. And that covers him quite well. So we'll move on to the next player now. Yeah, he will replace Judd McVie in that lineup. Probably will play quite early, I reckon. We'll see how he goes. I'm not too sure what they've got in line, but yeah, I would say he's done well. And we have another Picket. They're gonna have 2 Pickets running around that lineup. So well done, mate. He is a small forward from Glenelg. So he's played in the South Australian club at the Bays there. So Latrell Picket, standing at 182 centimetres. His strengths are scoreboard impact, speed, vertical leap, has a lot of X factor. Hits the contest hard, being a Picket. You'd expect nothing less. Defensive work rate and exposures is just something he's got to work on. So two-way running, tackle pressure outside as the ball's entering outside of their 50. So there's a lot of prospects. He jumped up the draft board and ended up in the first round. So well done, mate. Worked hard. So yeah, he's hailing from Port Lincoln. Got a lot of great players out there. Shout out to the John Cox. Shout out to you, Matty, mate, and Graham out there. A couple of lads that have worked in the department that I work at, and are really good lads. And just shout out to yous. And obviously he's from Port Lincoln, which is the area that they're from, and it's a great football talent. So area for players there. So yeah, he made quite a good impression for his first senior SANFL game. So he booted 32 goals and also 18 in the reserves game to help Glenelg take out the flag. So he played in the reserves. He also managed 3 league appearances, including a 4-goal haul on debut. So yeah, quite a good stat. But yeah, he before being exposed to a pair of top flight finals. So yeah, finals is a hard one to jump up and play in, but yeah, he still did quite well at reserve level. Pickett is the cousin of Melbourne star Xavier. Shout out to him, another good gun player, and both similar X-Factor style. He's quick and can impact aerially and possessing an intimate goal sense, and also skills to evade being tackled, and also tackles quite hard. The 19-year-old is impressed with top 2 km time trial at South Australia State Draft Combine, so top 2 for that. With the top 2 km time trial, so he's number 1 in the SA State Draft Combine, which is really good. Works hard, and also works hard to get up the ground as a small forward, which can translate into endurance and good pressure acts. He's a player with a lot of potential, and also on the big stage, he kicked 3 goals in the annual SA Talent Match, and there's a very good chance at being drafted, which is what he was drafted. So he was touted to be late first to second round, so he ended up being, in the first round, I believe, and yeah, quite high. So made it through onto draft night. So well done, mate. And yeah, at the Bays that made him wait for a league berth this year, but looks likely to go really well at the AFL level. But yeah, I suppose they'll have a really stacked team, so it's not an easy team to crack into. They did quite well this year, and have done previously the last few years. So that covers him quite well. Shout out to you, mate. Made his way through the SANFL pathway, and he's made himself on the AFL list. I like seeing that, and shows you that the good talent and at Cornell. So shout out to them too. So we're off to Thomas Matthews. Standing at 171 centimetres, he is a small forward. His strengths are defensive pressure, ground balls, X-factor, and speed. Just his improvements, his durability and size. He's somewhat small. But yeah, he's the Gippsland power prospect. Live wire forward. Finished 2024 strongly, but into a big preseason. Missing out on the initial Victorian country hub. So he missed out initially, but named captain for Gippsland. So yeah, he ended up being captain for Gippsland, which is quite interesting. He entered his top age campaign as high hopes, but only managed 4 games, hampered by a PCL injury. In that time, he eventually worked his way into the lineup and into Vic Country's squad. Having booted 4 goals in the trial match, his speed and endeavour could hardly be questioned, causing the opposition headaches with slick ground ball movement, craft and relentless defensive pressure. What's also to add to some of his game is the big moments whether he can take a big pat mark for his size or a run down tackle and a crucial goal. Quick snapping ability. It's also an knee injury robbed him of chances to showcase that energetic style, and more often in 2025. You have to be elite to make it 171 centimetres, obviously quite undersized. He's still got time to grow, he's still only young. He has all the right traits to be a very least consideration as overage status, if not a long-term view for him to be a potential late draft option. So yeah, how old was he? 07, so I still think he was still in that age group bracket in his group. So yeah, Melbourne's rolled the dice on this guy and gave him a chance. So obviously it was Spargo leaving the North Melbourne. It's opened up a spot for their small forwards. So we're off to the rookie draft now. Riley Onley. So Riley Onley is an interesting one. I thought he was quite highly touted. Standing at 195 centimetres. I liked this guy. I liked his highlights. I thought he was quite good. So we'll quickly talk about him now. He's a powerful tall midfielder. So yeah, another one of the 190 plus centimetres midfielders that went to late in the draft. We talked about Oliver Greaves. This man is, what's going on there? I don't know. There's no doubt this guy's got talent. So he's a powerful tall midfielder, speed and clean hands to take the ball on the inside and out. He came into the top age year with plenty of expectations, and he's a unique prospect being at his height and quickness. His relative, that's one of his traits. He has the ability and had been playing senior football for Shepparton United since he was 16, so he's been playing against adults. Obviously at that size, there's no surprise. The same year he made his Coates Talent League debut with the Murray Bushrangers, having moved to Melbourne to board at Scotch College. The 195 centimetre continued to go from strength to strength. So also at the under-16 Vic Country, so he represented Vic Country in 2023, only moved on to don the Big V in last year's under-18s championships as a bottom major between the APS commitments with Scotch, and also made several appearances for Murray, and duly selected to take part in the under-17s future matches at AFL Grand Final Day, which led to a National Academy induction and pre-season stint with Collingwood. So yeah, he did a bit of pre-season training with the Pies. Only also spent time honing his craft with the Magpies VFL side. He geared up for a big top age campaign. He only managed 2 early season games in the Murray 2025 before turned out for the National Academy. Peaked throughout a stellar Nationals campaign, only averaged 23 disposals, 4 clearances across the carnival to earn All-Australian selection to put his name in the top 30 contention. So yeah, he's rated to be at least 30 or under in the picks. This guy went to the rookie draft, so I don't know what's going on. He's obviously slipped through and Melbourne's picked him up. The big body on baller had done more than enough to earn his invite into October's National Combine. A hamstring injury kept him out of testing. Only is a Hawthorn supporter who looked up to the likes of Patrick Cripps and Marcus Bontempelli. So yeah, I'd say this guy probably more like a Patrick Cripps player when I see his highlights, more than Marcus Bontempelli. I feel like Dersma's more like a Marcus Bontempelli, so there's nothing wrong with that. Patrick Cripps is obviously a star player, and along with Jason Horne-Francis for his shared power and explosiveness. So this guy, look at that. So he's got good explosive power, and he's standing at 195 centimeters like a Patrick Cripps. So what's going on here is once again, we got a player that is in Vic Country's the second best team in the under-18s championships, and this guy has snuck through to the rookie draft. He's second best, obviously South Australia's first, but they're the 2 best teams. So this guy should have been at least in there. I quite like him. I can't remember where I had him in my draft order and where he should have been. But there's no doubt this guy's got some skill, and he's been compared to really good players. So sometimes you look good on Melbourne for giving this guy a chance. So shout out to Melbourne. I hope you won't look back on this guy. His strength obviously is athleticism, his power, explosiveness, clean hands, speed, size. He has plenty to give. So improvements, he needs to be more competitive and endurance. So he obviously standing 195 centimeters. He's going to have to build a tank. But yeah, standing 195 centimeters. He is a unique player. His power and speed are genuine points of what makes his game a great player. Such a size and frame, making him difficult to stand on. He has clean hands. It's hard to mark against for his size. He distributes the ball on the inside Quite a good inside player, bursts of speed out of congestion, and even start to put the finish on touch on the ball. Heading into the forward, also the attacking handball and link ability to chain link play. He didn't partake in a national combined testing, but to me that doesn't really matter sometimes. They're just facts and numbers. Sometimes you got to look at the ability to play the game. He is in the second best team in the country for the age group that he is in and the state championships. His athletic attributes were on showcase at the preseason, where his efforts were 2.8 seconds in the 20-metre sprint. So in the preseason, his 20-metre sprints were good. Don't know why you have to add on to that if they were good that long ago. And 75 centimetres in the standing vertical jump. So not only is this guy 195 centimetres, he's got a good jump. What else do you want from the man? Come on. Would have put him in the top 2 for each of those events. So yeah, there you go. Like, what else do you need? Obviously, he's probably put on some size and size and weight. It may have slowed them down, but they're overall quite good. Once again, I mentioned about the 190 centimeter plus stats. You know, these guys are in a different category to the smaller players, so they're actually very good. So yeah, you're able to charge forward and slice through traffic is another ability of his. Speed, he also creative by hand, link up or draw opponents before releasing the teammates into space. He mostly impacts the attacking phase and is quite effective on the outside also for his size. His abilities to take ground and connect into the attacking 50, fluent move, and movement, and also groundwork. He's a bit of an inside contested player also. But also spent time on the wing in the National Academy midfield group. And as during the National Championships, he's been observed as a prospect, has high upside, also a player the recruiters like, and also often comes with when he gets going, he at his best, finding the ball at his peak and more consistent play is key for him as he progresses through his football career. You know, he's a crash and bash type of player, but also he isn't at the same time. He's the types of the inside, perhaps, as he develops more of his physicality, he'll be an imposing figure with his size and ability. But yeah, he can play both roles, inside and out. He's thought to be one of the running. He also needs to have a improvement with his running, and he's a tank to keep on that hard running. So yeah, build up a tank. But he's only young and at that size. Sometimes it's not about how much he can run too. He's just going to get through a lot. Yeah, so yeah, he sometimes can have a little bit of lack of polish. But yeah, he's running quite hard for his size. But also is capable of hitting the scoreboard from long range. Is no stranger to racking up plenty of the ball. So yeah, ability to kick long goals. And size to hit the contest. Running on the outside. Obviously, he's seen a bit of wingman type play in the academy there. But arguably one of big country's good midfield players. Like I said, this guy has got through to the rookie draft. So I don't know what some clubs do sometimes. Melbourne, you've got yourself an absolute star. In the rookie draft, it's just what are clubs looking for? Sometimes it baffles me that they let someone this size go through, and I feel like this guy will be a potential star in the future. And you made it on the list. That's all that matters, mate. But there are a handful of players that should be playing AFL right, like on a list. And let me tell you, I don't like the people making comments on. So we have the new Tasmanian side. This is a bit of a sidetrack. I probably will do a podcast on this. There is plenty of talent Okay? I don't want to hear people say, oh, there's no talent. There's goddamn plenty of talent. Absolutely. I could rattle off 5 players right now. You go look at my rookies who didn't make it. Podcasts, if you want in-depth detail. There are plenty of players who did not make it and should have been given a chance, but they haven't been given a chance. And there's only so many players you can fit on the list. But I don't want to hear this. There's not enough talent when all this Tasmanian. There are plenty of talent. Absolute plenty of talent. And it's just people don't know what they're talking about sometimes. And it's the problem with social media, and people just rattle off things. A lot of people do not know what they're talking about. There is plenty of talent. There absolutely is so much talent. Like, there's guys just running around playing SNFL as well, or VFL, that should be playing AFL, that are just as good, and they're not given the chances because we don't have enough spots on the list. So I don't want to hear that. It's something that annoys me a bit, and I'll just say it like it is. That's what this podcast is about. It's not about being negative. It's about being positive. I'm highlighting that there are more players out there that should get picked up. And that's why we're here. We're here to stick up for them. We're the voice of the voiceless. There's people that deserve a chance, and for the people that keep saying that, it's rubbish. And there are more players out there. So I wanted to clarify that. Something I'm passionate about. It's about being positive. It's about pumping up the players. It's about giving them a chance. So we're going to move on to. I probably butchered this guy's name, but Kalania White. Kalanian White? I don't know. It's a strange name. I might have butchered that. Sorry, mate. But he is the son of Jeff White, former ruckman at the Melbourne Football Club. Jeff White. So, yeah, I can remember him playing. So, yeah, he's also 201 centimetres. So, key position utility. So, can play multiple roles. His strengths are aerial ability, athleticism, versatility, and also his size. You've got to work in endurance and strength. Obviously, that's something that will come in time. So, yeah, he's one of a few prospects from the Allies team, from the state championships. And, yeah, he's a father-son player and followed the footsteps of the former number 1 draft pick, Jeff White. So his dad was a former number 1 draft pick, so quite highly rated. And he was taken first on the board, and he was off to Fremantle at that time before going on to play 236 games with Melbourne. So he was traded back into went back home, and which they have committed to White Jr. via the father-son rules. He's an athletic tool who also nominated the Demons, having made his way through the Suns Academy program, so the Suns Academy player, but ended up electing to pick Melbourne. So following his father's footsteps, he played the full national championships with the Allies, having debuted last year, while also stepping up to VFL level with the Casey Demons. There where he played 3 games in the red and blue, including a 2-goal return in his maiden outing. So yeah, not too bad. Kicked a couple goals at VFL level. White impressed for several years with his ability to play in every position throughout those years, has recently settled as a ruck/forward. The new ruck rule changes will suit his style, with the ability to jump early and soar above his opponents, much like his father. His father had a good leap. That's why he went quite high in the draft. He has a good vertical leap, while also providing to be a mobile key target around the ground. He'll still need to add plenty of size on his frame, and also his running tank to become more consistent and well-rounded player. But yeah, that covers him quite good. They did say he'll be late to a rookie, so they've sort of picked him where he'll be. And yeah, he's been a father-son pick. If he can turn out to be like his father, his dad was a good ruckman, and yeah, had a good career at Melbourne. Played throughout an interesting time at Melbourne. they had some early, like he probably had some success. I think they played finals sometime early in the 2000s. A little bit of a stint and then a bit of a dry sort of spot for them. Not making much finals, but yeah, 236 games. He was a good ruckman. If he's anything like his father, he'd be quite a good ruckman. So that rounds out the Melbourne Football Club, and just wanted to send my condolences to the people who have lost life in Victoria and also property through the fires, and just wanted to give a shout out to all the fireys over there from all the Victorian firefighters and also the interstate firefighters, whether it's from New South Wales or all over the country, including the fellow firefighters that I work with and the volunteers who have gone over through the CFS, and also who I work with at national parks, and everyone that's done their best bit, including all the volunteers and the people on their properties. My thoughts are with you, and I hope everyone can, be okay. And it's a hard time, and my thoughts are with the family who have lost a family member. And just want to give a shout out to you. My thoughts are with you and everyone there. So, thoughts with you. Just want to give that shout out. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and I hope this can give a bit of shining light to the people in Melbourne and also the people who support the Melbourne Football Club in this tough time. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.